to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Soldier Field opened back in 1924 with the Bears becoming tenants in 71, and what a home field advantage it has become here in Chicago. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Chicago Bears. Just about set for a start. Happy to have you with us, and we are underway here on Thursday Night Prime Time. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the cornerback.
I tell you what, when he's on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a second down and 4. And he's going to try and do this himself. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. A solid gain of 7 yards that time on the keeper and a first down.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
To throw, Williams. Open man. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, they got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. He's got a man. It's his fullback. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll make it second down.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Here's second and 3. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. The NFL's leading rusher in 2019 and 2020, Derrick Henry. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 5. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. With the snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Facing 4th down, Baltimore will punt. Jordan Stout out there. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this will pin him nicely inside the 20 as it's out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
And they'll fake it there on the jet sweep, and instead, here's Swift. Takes it to about the 37.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
That's complete. Roma Dunze. And he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down. They gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down, here's Williams. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So just shy of midfield. They tried it. Didn't work out. What did you think?
I thought that they should have punted the ball away. Should have gotten rid of it and played defense with better field position. Look, I'm as aggressive as anyone wanting to go for it on offense, but in this situation, it doesn't.
First half.
I don't know that there's any risk. I mean, what's the reward for your risk here? I would not have done that. My only explanation is this coach, he may want to be up here in the booth with us. We may have a 3-man booth starting next week if he keeps up with those decisions.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him. That time, it looked like he essentially just ran right into the pass rush.
Yeah, partner, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but the fish jumped right into the net, didn't he? Because you've got to make sure that you're deep enough that you can get around the defensive end, have an angle there. But he couldn't do it because he actually cut that one off. Really nice play coming off the edge.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing is Jackson. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
And with the snow here, maybe asking too much of the kicker to try a field goal, so instead, offense on the field, they'll go for it on 4th down. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Good spot on the field to go for it, kind of no man's land as they call it, and it worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter is telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow, might be too far for the field goal, so it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway. That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Flowers going to go in motion right. Now it's Jackson. And he'll find the open man. That's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Zay Flowers, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Ravens post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
The loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Looking to throw is Williams. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To the air, Williams. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens and Lamar Jackson about ready to take over once more. He had the touchdown pass last time they had it. And they'll start here with a 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Jackson now. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they run the option on 2nd down. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. To throw is Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he's stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. Will go down as a gain of 6. And it'll be 4th down. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Pulled in at the 24. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Bears take over. The Chicago offense set to get started. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
2nd and 10. Throwing is Williams. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
Here's 3rd and 6. To throw, it's Williams. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Wester on the return. A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the 2nd half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back, what a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Now Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Here's 2nd and 10. Jackson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because that incompletion's on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Here's Jackson to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Baltimore 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
2nd down, they go again with Henry. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. That is caught. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this 1st half. So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hansen for our halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you, and welcome in, everyone. Scott Hansen in Orlando, where it almost never snows. These 2 teams dealing with a light dusting, and that's expected to go on into the 2nd half. Who handles it better? Let's go back out to the stadium and check in with our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thank you. The snow is continuing to trickle down here as we ready ourselves for the 2nd half to follow. Lake effect snow set to continue for the 2nd half of action as we are back underway. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Second half begins with a run by Henry. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now. That's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Jackson. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Now it's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. That's into the hands of Flowers over the middle. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Jackson will keep it, and he will have the Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. Now this time he'll look to throw. A short throw caught by Andrews. Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. He'll be back at the 36. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. Jackson from the shotgun. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 17-yard line. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
A first down carry for Henry. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 45 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Well, lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Hill is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Henry. It'll go as no gain on the play, and straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And for the third straight play, he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Not at all what they envisioned on third down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
This has not been a fun game for this defense. They've definitely had their share of struggles, but they needed to make a play right there, and they finally get it done on 3rd and goal.
On 4th down, on is Tyler Luke for the Baltimore field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Back to it now after the made field goal. Here's Luke to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll go play action here with Williams. That's caught. The tight end Loveland with it. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Prime Time. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. They'll come up 2nd and 7. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
They'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
First down, and they go with Swift again. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 1. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pound one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him.
They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. But they can thank their defense for another stop. And now look at the score, where they've got the football. They're looking pretty good.
They're looking excellent because now you're thinking to yourself, let's just take some time off the clock. Work it down. And, of course, you put another touchdown on the board, you can pretty much say bye-bye to this one.
Play calling here can be a little bit more conservative because of the lead.
A little bit more conservative. The biggest thing, everyone understands how to get the ball downfield and how to stay in bounds and make sure the clock keeps running.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
On 2nd down, here's the option. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. Really good effort. He does it himself, picks up 15, also picks up the 1st down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. They'll run it again with Henry. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. And now Jackson will look to throw it. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. They go play action with Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
Intended for Mark Andrews. Incomplete. Jalen Johnson on the cover.
Tyler Luke now to try the field goal. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. So all things considered, that's not the final nail, but it does make things exceedingly difficult now on the other side.
Yeah, because obviously now with a 16-point game, the other guys don't need just 2 touchdowns. They need a couple of 2-point conversions as well. Plus, they'll need either a turnover or an onside kick in there somewhere. So you're just adding to the list of things that need to happen in sequence. And it's going to be a pretty tall order this late in the game.
Back to it now after the made field goal. Here's Luke to kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So now the Bears down by 16. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go. They've yet to dent the scoreboard tonight. Now they've got to do it twice late if they want a chance here. To throw, Williams. And that's out to the flat for Swift.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
Second and 11 at the 27-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Williams looking to do it himself. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. He'll try to pick it up himself. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
Well, there's still hope, but it's dwindling fast. No timeouts left. They need 2 scores still. 1st and 10 here. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays up in quick succession if they can.
He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Bears first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he gets it down to the 32. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say good night from Chicago.